haven't checked it out myself. I was trying to get logged in this morning, but I had so many other problems, and I don't see it on the top of it. But I heard our one-day high last week for new cases of coronavirus was 228 in Stevens County. I reported the week before it was 128 in one day. Man, we're just shattering our own records.
We are.
Everybody hug everybody.
Well, at least they were saying that the report this morning from, I don't know if it was the CDC or Fauci or who was saying, but I think it was the CDC, that they, at least data right now is showing that if you have gotten your vaccines and are boosted, it's protecting you. It's a 90% protection from the Omicron of being hospitalized. So it doesn't mean you're not going to get it. It just means that it should keep you from being hospitalized.
All right. Well, obviously, a lot of people I know have got it. Dear friends, been fighting it for a few days. A couple weeks ago, another friend. I mean, they're dropping like flies around me. I mean, dropping into bed, not into the dirt. But it says here, this is about 70% of patients admitted to the Luminous Health Doctors Community Hospital in Maryland are unvaccinated. As of 9,
Exactly. That doesn't convince you. Nothing will.
All right, Florida Senator, her new...
It's not that she had them in the first place.
yes. All right.
And if you're in public office, I mean, wouldn't you get rid of anything like that? I mean, eventually it's going to come out.
See, here's the sad part about it, though, is this thing. It was. She's been actually first place. And now they've been stolen. That's just wrong. Just like Putin wanting to invade Ukraine and scaring the rest of the world. It's just wrong. But I asked him why, and he said, "Well, I learned it from you guys." Oh, true story though.
I mean,
You were talking to Putin?
Yes, me talking to Putin is a true story.
Putin.
Yeah, Putin. I'm just putting you on, Val.
So Vladimir. We are on a first name basis, aren't we?
Yes.
Vlad.
Oh, Vlad. What are you doing? He said, well, I learned it from you guys. True story, though. You know, we invade a country. We invade a country, and we have a reason for it, and it's A-OK. They've invaded a country next to them, and it's, you're evil. Oh, how dare you? We've taken over a lot of countries.
Like what? We might send our military troops, but have we actually tried to claim them as U.S. territory?
I'm sure we scared the U.S. Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico into joining us.
Probably
you think
Hawaii.
So we strong-arm them?
Yeah, and probably Hawaii, too. I don't know. Well, Afghanistan was ours for a long time, but we gave it back. I'm probably not making any friends today, am I?
You are not.
They're just jokes. Even when they're bad or stupid, they're attempts. Attempts
at being funny.
Attempts. I didn't say they work. I just said they were attempts.
I use that on a dating site. It says, I've been doing comedy for 10 years. You probably don't recognize me because I'm not that good at it.
Well, again, I think I'm funnier than heck. Not everybody else probably does.
That's right. I'm laughing on the inside, and that's all that's important.
All right. We're surviving, Val.
Oh, good.
All right.
And, we were talking earlier, you wanted to know if I was hearing kind of that breakup and stuff, and I am right now. So just if that helps with your troubleshooting efforts.
Thank you. I rebooted everything at the tower last night and a couple things this morning, and it didn't make a difference. And it's always scary to reboot the tower because, like I was saying, it's really hard to get there, especially in the wintertime. It got stuck one day, and I couldn't, access it, but everything was playing, and I went, oh, that's different. But at least it's working. And then all of a sudden I could access it again. So it's just and I had the phone out. I was ready to call the dude and say, I'm going to need that big cat. which is kind of fun.
And it's not like, it's not like a radio station that isn't a public station. I mean, generally they have the money, they can buy the best equipment, and that's not
what
the
I
case
did.
when you have when you have a small, town public radio.
That's not what I did. So it was called the Gates, or a Gates, and that was $25,000. The one I bought was half that, for the radio station. And this is the one I regret. So what's called STL equipment that sends the signal from the internet down here up there. That equipment. Again, I went middle of the road because high end was $4,000, and I think I paid $1,500. I should have paid the $4,000. If I could go back in time, I'd pay the $4,000. Wish I would have paid the $4,000.
Our dad used to say, though, rich people do as they want to, poor people do as they can.
Yeah,
it's the same with a radio station, right?
And he also told me. Yes. I think I shared it before, but my favorite one is the time when I just got my driver's license, or there was something wrong with my car, I wanted to borrow his pickup. And he told me I needed a haircut. And I whipped out the old thing, Dad, because I had the hippie hair. I said, it was the 80s. I said, Dad, Jesus had long hair. And he looked at me and said, yeah, and he walked everywhere, too.
That was a good one.
I mean, and he introduces me as his daughter.
Oh,
that was painful. But it was just his little digs to try to get me to cut my hair. Well, if you're going to have long hair, I'm going to embarrass you.
Since you embarrassed me. I guess it was a fair trade, playback or something.
Uh-huh. All right, so
I think all kids go through, I suppose the boys more, even girls, that time in their teenage years where they do something crazy with their hair that their parents don't like, or aren't, I shouldn't say don't like, but aren't the hugest fan of. I mean, Travis did this whole thing because his hair was curly, and made an afro out of it for his when he was the valedictorian, gave his speech.
I was going to say his senior year, didn't he do that? I saw the picture.
Oh yeah. So he froed out his hair, and then Matt had the skater boy hair where he was always flipping his head to get it out of his eyes. And so that was my boys in their teenage years.
Oh man.
We also had a U.S. Navy fighter jet attempting to return to an aircraft carrier in the South China Sea.
He had a landing mishap, left 7 sailors injured. You don't hear about them missing the deck of the aircraft carrier very often. I mean, that's extremely rare. For such a dangerous thing, it's surprising you don't hear more stories like that. All right. New Omicron offshoot BA.2 arrives in the U.S. after spreading in the U.K., Denmark, and India. So these hopes of Omicron being the last one, remember what my dad said. You can wish in one hand and go to the bathroom in the other and see which fills up first.
My problem is they call it BA-2?
Dot 2.
BA.2. I think it needs to be BS.2 because that's where we're at.
Yeah, and the director of the WHO came out a couple days ago, and he said everybody's talking about it being over, and it's not.
Right.
And,
well, they're hoping we can get to the point where it's just an endemic. Which means it's basically with us like the cold or the flu. So, but I don't know. Every time it shoots off a new mutation, you wonder what's going to happen with this one.
Oh, man. And I want to go on that single carnival cruise for singles. I can't believe people are still getting on cruise boats. And then
that's kind of crazy.
And then they're upset because they're trapped there and they all have COVID.
Yeah.
We can't get any food. The bathrooms are overflowing. Why'd you get on a cruise ship?
Yeah, it would take a lot. I mean, you'd have to give. I don't even know if you could give me one. Yeah, I'd take a lot.
7-night cruises starting at $3.99 was the commercial, and then the next day the government came out and said, "Hey, whatever you do, don't go on a cruise." So they must have knew the government was going to do some kind of announcement again.
Restrictions.
Well, they can't stop you. But they're telling you not to is the recommendation. So I think they knew it was coming, and let's hurry up and throw a new commercial together for TV that says cruises from $3.99. I'm thinking that's like such a good deal. I might risk some coronavirus.
There you go.
I'd really take a boat ride to anywhere but here right now.
I always, we've gone on a cruise, and it was on a budget, and so our rooms were below deck and all of that. But I've always thought it would be really fun to go with like 2 other couples that you really get along with and like rent one of the nice suites together.
Ooh.
So, just to have that, you could, party in your room. You don't have to try and figure out spending all that money outside the room and all of that. It would be fun.
Oh, really? So you want to go on a boat ride and just stay in your room with 5 other people?
No, but if you got a pre-party, right?
Okay. Oh,
then
you're
you
just
don't
talking
have
about before the boat
to-
takes off. Okay.
No, I'm talking about like, if you're going to have a drink, have a couple in the room first and then go out, because drinks are expensive.
I have a feeling that even a suite on a cruise ship is probably a little too small for 6 people, maybe.
I don't know. Yeah.
I'm thinking it'd still feel kind of cramped, maybe. And so below deck, does that mean when you look out your window, you saw water?
You have no window.
Oh, you don't even get a window. Oh, that'd feel like a jail cell. I couldn't do that. I wouldn't sleep the entire trip. The 7 nights awake on a Carnival cruise.
There you go. Yeah, I think the hardest part, and I said I would never go on one without at least a porthole, because you had no concept if it was day or night when you were in your room, and that was kind of, I don't know. That's the part I didn't like. I like at least a porthole so you can tell.
When I was building out the zombie truck, I looked all over for a porthole.
Oh, did you?
I've wanted one my entire life, at least installed in the back of my head or something. But yeah, I was like, I found some little like porthole type things, but not like a good sized porthole.
Mm-hmm.
And I just like saying the word
Porthole.
It sounds like I'm doing something wrong. Did you hear what he said on the radio? Oh. All right. So, should we move on to some bits and breaks?
Okay.
I think we beat up enough of the news. We've made fun of cruising. I still really want to go on a cruise, though.
Yes.
Hey,
I would love to go on a, Caribbean cruise.
Did you throw up at all?
No, but I get seasick pretty easily. And so, I would say most of the time, unless I'd had enough alcohol, I was at least queasy. But I did find out that if you have a few drinks, you don't notice that you're queasy.
Oh.
So I just spent the whole time drunk, and you wouldn't do well with that, Scott. So
No, I wouldn't want to be. I wouldn't do well with that, and I wouldn't be around you if you were.
I wouldn't call it drunk. It was just a nice, pleasant,
What I don't
let's have a good time,
understand
guys.
is the people that take an Alaska cruise. Why would you take a cold weather cruise on a boat?
Well, that's what we did. We went to Alaska, and it was really cool. I would do things a little bit differently next time, but yeah, we enjoyed
I'd
it.
take a parka.
We took the warm clothes. We did all of that. My kittens keep standing on my computer screen. If you get a flash of a monster cat, you'll know what's going on. But it was. We went to Ketchikan, we went to Juneau, and we went to Skagway. And Skagway was the funnest, I think. So. Yeah, but you just kind of learn after you do it the first time. I mean, it was fun getting to see the glaciers and all that. But yeah, next time it would be a warm weather cruise.
All right. So I got a shocker I just found online. Shocker.
Uh-oh.
A shocker. 2 days before Sarah Palin, remember her?
Yeah.
Well, she made the news.
Speaking of Alaska,
she just made the news. She tested positive for COVID-19. And she dined at a New York City restaurant that's a magnet for celebrities. All right.
Oh.
Patrons are required to present proof of vaccination before they're allowed to eat inside this restaurant. All right. Let's see. But apparently nobody checked Palin, the former governor of Alaska, who was the 2008 Republican vice presidential nominee, for proof of her vaccination Saturday night at Elio's, popular Italian restaurant on the Upper East Side of Manhattan. And she has not been vaccinated. So 2 days before her positive test, she ate at this restaurant, probably infected hundreds of people. Yep, that's Sarah Palin.
And she had to be our vice president.
I know, I liked her.
Did you really?
No.
Okay.
No, it's being
I was
facetious.
going to say, I was just going to say we can't be siblings anymore.
She was hot, though. I will give her that. She looked a
Well-
lot like my second wife, which was, kind of excited me. But when she opened her mouth, it kind of ruined it all.
Just like your ex-wife.
That would be, we're talking about double trouble. What a presidential ticket that would be. Trump and Palin.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
wouldn't be able to tell which one had the hottest air. Or, and it wouldn't matter whether the president talked or whether she talked. You'd be equally confused by what was said.
Definitely.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's like end of the world scenario.
The apocalypse is upon us.
Yeah, well, you think this is the apocalypse? That would be the apocalypse. Just saying. That's just my opinion. I don't know. All right. Pretty much right now, I take anything other than coronavirus.
Yes.
I am coronavirus out. Let's start off with some bits and breaks and see if we can come up with some fun. Val, there's the perfect one for us.
And tweet of the week, as posted by Coco Gurr 186. It says, "Be nice to your brother. You might need one of his kidneys one day."
So true, so true.
It can go both ways, though, right?
Although at my age, your kidney's going to leak a little. Just to warn you.
You're not getting a prime one for me either.
It's been abused. All right. I've got one from yesterday, tweet of the week. How could you have two tweets of the week?
Well, yeah.
But I do like this one.
Tweet of the day, then.
Okay. Marriage vows should be written as to have and to hold, and to listen to stories about your workplace drama until death do us part.
Yeah, I've always said if you're in a group of people that are, together, visiting, whatever, you should not be in the same group of people visiting as your spouse, because you have heard this story 40 times already.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, so you need to kind of go off and visit with people on your own, so you don't have to keep hearing the same stories over and over.
Do you get a little snotty and go to the crowd? I've heard this before. Excuse me.
Well, and I try to, if somebody tells me, "Oh yeah, you already told me that," I will go, "Oh, okay," but my husband does not. You're like, "Honey, you've already told that story," but he'll still tell it again.
Well, I'm telling it again.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like give him a bad time about that. Yes, you've already told the story.
I've got one loaded up here. Here's usually we have things about crazy questions kids ask, but here's questions teachers have asked, which is kind of scary. How old was the average 18-year-old in 1942?
Still 18.
Trick question. Sorry. Ignore that.
Oh.
What are those pyramid-shaped things in Egypt called?
Pyramids.
If a patient has a brain hemorrhage, can we tie a tourniquet around the neck to stop it?
We might want to.
Yes. Well, let's try it on you and see if it works. All right. Probably not.
I'm in New York. You can't get to me.
I wish I had some sports theme music ready to go.
Yeah, you don't?
I don't, because I think you would really benefit from some sports theme music.
I would, because...
Keep
what's
talking. Keep talking.
Okay. My next story is all about Super Bowl legends that have been debunked.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I can't find anything. Oh, I'm
Okay.
so sorry. It was here because I used to have it ready for Brandon Hanson, but I'm not. Let's go ahead and look in the independent folder. Oh, here we go. It might introduce you as Brandon Hanson, though. Are you okay with that?
I'm okay with that.
Okay. It's time for sports with Valerie Hunter.
All right, nice.
That was okay. Could have been better.
Yeah, could have been better, but
Could have been better.
All right, it was on the fly.
It was.
Snopes.com has debunked some popular Super Bowl legends. I didn't know there was such a thing, but anyway, claim number one: sewage systems of major cities have broken due to the tremendous number of toilets being flushed simultaneously at halftime. That, my friends, is false.
Well, that bums me out because I've heard that story before.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That after one of the Super Bowls. Oh yeah, he crashed the whole city sewer system because all the toilets were flushing at the same time. But if you ever go to the arena, I mean, that's kind of where I've seen it before. Is like going to the arena to a concert. I have never seen so many people in a bathroom at once.
Oh, and if it's bad in the men's line, you should see it in the women's line.
Yeah, because us guys, we can actually kind of run through, but you guys can't. You got to stop, open the door, pull up the dress, pull things. Yeah, it's a whole bunch of work for you ladies. Especially
line the toilet seat.
Oh, yeah.
All right, next claim. 2/3 of all avocados sold in the USA are bought within 3 weeks of the Super Bowl Sunday. Oh, that too, my friends, is false.
All right. Hey, Cookie Lady, do you have any way to keep an avocado from turning brown?
No, no. And they say leave the pits in there with you're like making guacamole or something that it will help it from turning brown. But I don't know. And I love avocados, but the big thing is they're so expensive if you get them in the store. But you can buy them at Costco really cheap. But then they're hard when you buy them, and then they're all ripe at the same time, and you end up wasting half of them anyway.
Yeah.
So, I love avocados, but they are a pain in the tushy. All right, my final claim for Super Bowl is the rise in automobile accidents tied to aftermath of Super Bowl.
Okay.
There is a rise in automobile accidents. Okay.
It's true.
And that one is actually true. A study showed a 41% increase in accidents in the hours after the Super Bowl. That's because people are drunk.
That's what I was thinking.
Or bummed that their team lost, and so there's tears in their eyes, and they can't see where they're driving.
All right, there you go. Lame sports claims with Val Hunter on KCHW.
From Feature Story News.
Nah, we don't want to play that.
All right.
Although I do like Benji's name, we're not going to play it. It's probably the worst broadcasting name I've ever heard, Benji.
Benji.
All right. What food is better on the second or the third day? I've got a list here from the internet, of course. People say soups and stews, and I would agree with that one.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
All right. Like Mom's Sunday soup, always delicious the first day, to die for the second day. And by the third day, it's all gone.
Yes.
It's all gone. Oh, lasagna. Oh,
yes, yeah. I was gonna say that lasagna is so good the second day.
And I don't know what she did. I should get her recipe, but I had a wife that made like the world's best lasagna I have ever eaten. It was amazing, and if you pulled the pan out of the oven, it took 2 people. It was so heavy.
Wow. I've got a really good lasagna recipe too. I just haven't made it in ages. Now you got me hungry for it.
Oh yeah, there we go. How about this? This will ruin your appetite. Chili.
You don't like chili?
Oh, I hate chili. I always have hated chili.
Oh, I love chili.
And I've had people dress it up, and this is my award-winning chili. And I'm like, it tastes like every other chili I had. Congratulations, Nally.
Nally's is disgusting, but I think my chili is award-winning.
Meatloaf. Better the second day? I don't think so. It wasn't
it's
even
so good the first day?
Yeah, yuck.
Have you had my meatloaf?
No, I haven't had your meatloaf.
My meatloaf is to die for.
Do you think Mom's listening?
I don't think so.
Okay, because her meatloaf's the worst.
Yes. And that's
Sorry,
why I grew up hating meatloaf. because of that. It was like when Mom said she was making meatloaf, you were like, oh no, please.
Yeah.
But my meatloaf, I take it and put it in like a cookie sheet, spread it really, really thin in the cookie sheet. Then you cover the whole top of it with cheese, and then you roll it up, and then you cook it. So there's cheese, like springs in it.
That would help. That would definitely help the meatloaf.
Yeah, I would assume, and next time I make it, I will come up to Shwela and bring you a piece. That way you can eat it on your own time. If you don't like it, you don't have to like gag in front of me.
I had a mother-in-law one time serve meatloaf, cooked it in
No
dinner
better?
for us. Actually, I was like, oh, wow, her meatloaf looks like a football. And then we had to get a jackhammer to get it open. And then once open, we kind of like husked it out like we were, cleaning out a jug of really hard ice cream.
Scoop out the inside.
Yeah, because it literally was cooked inside of a football.
I make mine on the Traeger. And so you get that smoky, slow-cooked yumminess. Oh, my gosh.
All right, so when am I coming over for meatloaf?
Well, I will invite you over soon.
Okay. Just prove me wrong. That's all I'm looking for. And a free meal.
Okay.
Okay. Better the second day meatloaf. We're going to say, Val says yes. I say we'll see. That means I want leftovers.
Jury's still out.
I want leftovers to take home so I can test the theory.
Okay.
Okay. See how I'm working it into 2 meals?
I do see that.
That's a single guy. All right. Better the second day pizza. Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And then better the second day Thanksgiving dinner. I'm going to say no, but the sandwiches to die for like a few days after.
Mm-hmm. I like, excuse me, I like fried chicken the next day too.
Really?
So, yeah.
I find it gets a little
I don't know
too
if it's
hard.
better. Yeah, I don't know if it's better, but I do like the next day fried chicken, and I can eat that cold.
All right. All right, Val, tell me some reasons why dogs bark.
There's some dogs that bark for no reason, but here are a few reasons why a dog might bark, and that's to communicate in some way. Here's what they're saying according to yahoo.com. One bark might mean I'm startled. Dogs react instinctively to surprises. A sudden noise such as a doorbell or ringing phone may set off a series of barks from your pet as he sounds the alert.
And you can tell because it's more of a woof.
Yeah. We've kind of taught all of our dogs that, great, you can warn us when somebody's here, but when we tell you enough, you better shut up.
I like those dogs that are really smart, and they've been totally trained not to bark, and so instead they just go.
Then let's see. My territory is threatened.
Okay.
The house and the yard are the dog's domain, of course, and he will go to great lengths to protect this territory. The mailman, meter reader, babysitter, Halloween trick-or-treater, Christmas carolers, and other friendly callers are still likely to set them off.
So let me try that bark then. It's This is my dog bark, sorry.
Our poor dog can't really bark anymore, and so it's like yeah, you don't know if she's coughing or trying to bark.
Or having a hairball.
Yeah, exactly. The other bark might mean I need something. The dog's bark may take several tones, which the attentive owner learns to recognize very quickly. The I'm in pain sound is altogether different from the I need to go outside to potty now, I miss you already, I'm bored and want to play, and I'm hungry ones. I've never had a dog bark because they wanted to go outside.
Woof. Okay.
They just kind of come and look at you generally, but I've never had one bark.
Or scratch at the door, which you might,
Yeah.
It could be
Yeah.
bad. Get scratches all over your door, but
Yes.
yeah.
All right. I'm seeking attention. Dogs are very needy.
Yes. Yes.
That's why I'm a cat person.
Me
Dogs
too.
Are needy.
Oh, it's like having another kid.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
A dog may bark to call others to look at him. He may announce his arrival to a pack of fellow canines or may signal playtime to his owner.
Oh, that's true. I like that one where they pounce down and go woof.
Yeah,
right.
that's cute. But yeah, dogs are needy.
All right.
And then you might have told them or taught them to speak.
And that makes
And
them
well, Yeah, if you did that, you might be, as long as they only do it on cue, but yeah.
All right.
All right.
I've seen a lot of dogs that do that when they go speak, and then they give you a good old bark.
Yeah. We had a dog that all you had to say is, "Who's here?" And she'd start barking. So.
Val, have you ever been to a marriage counselor?
No.
I've been there several times. Things marriage counselors want you to know. First, if you want a pity party, go somewhere else.
Exactly. Some people just want to go to, have somebody affirm that they're right. And then when they don't get that.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I like this one. Learn to shut up and listen. I added the word shut up.
If you could listen, you probably wouldn't be at the
the marriage counselor
place.
anyway.
Yeah.
Exactly. Give yourself a break.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, don't be so hard on yourself?
Yeah. Give yourself
Okay.
a break.
All right.
All right.
I knew it wasn't my fault.
Go ahead. Argue.
Oh, arguing's good?
Yeah.
Oh.
Let go of the past. Yeah. Stop dragging that baggage around.
Exactly. We talked about that maybe within the last couple of shows is, I think forgiveness means giving up all hope of a better past.
And he's when they say, I'm not here to give you the answers, that's a cop-out, I think. Well, then what am I paying you for? I need some answers.
Well, and we have sorry, I'm making noises here, but we have a friend who is a counselor, and she says, yeah, I don't tell people what to do. She says, I just kind of listen. I'm like, you get paid just to listen and not offer
any advice or tools? Come on. All right.
Exactly.
I had it's probably a big counselor faux pas. It was a bathroom break and ended up in alone. This happened twice, in alone with the counselor in the hallway. And they put their arm, like on my shoulder and said, wow, she's really out of line. I think I can help you. And it does, and that just from my experiences, that's something really bad to repeat to your wife.
Does it make you question your choices in women, Scott?
Yeah, it's just not something you should probably tell your wife that the counselor said.
No, I wouldn't bring that up.
Yeah, especially if you want to see that counselor again. All right, it's almost time for break here at KCHW 102.7, also known as KCHW Chihuahua, the station that hiccups. That's going to be our new motto, the station that hiccups. I'm working on it. All right, I'm trying really hard, really.
Give her all she's got.
I'm giving it all I've got, and it's not much, so you're getting what I got. Hey, but I'm looking at the bar now. It says we're good. It says we're good.
Oh, nice. I guess I haven't heard you hiccup for a little bit.
Ooh, keep our fingers crossed. Hey, I've noticed, too, so it's something to do with the internet up there because it gets worse in the evening.
When everybody's
coming home from work, hopping on their PC. So if you could, please stop using your computers at night. No more movies. Come on. I don't care if it's a lockdown or a coronavirus or whatever it is. I think it's a pledge drive. All right, here we go. All right, trivia with my sister Val. And I'm having such a hard time today. Is it Monday?
It's a Tuesday that feels like a Monday.
It's a Tuesday that feels like a Monday. Excellent.
The following program is closed captioned for the thinking impaired.
And live from New York, it's my sister Val.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions. I want to have them answered immediately.
And if you're watching online, behind Val, beautiful view of sunrise in New York this morning.
Yes.
Right.
It's so nice here right now.
Excellent choice. What's that behind you, Val?
We have pictures of you so-called mooners. And just because the pictures aren't of your faces doesn't mean we can't identify.
All righty then. Fun and games. The word typewriter is the longest word that can be made using what?
Typewriter. I would say with only the top row of keys on your keyboard.
That is exactly correct. There are around 11,000 women in the U.S. employed as what? And you can ask for some hints because that's really, really vague for a trivia question. I should have announced that. It's Vague Trivia Day.
11,000 women in the U.S. that have this job.
That are
Is that
employed
correct?
as, yes. What can I give you for a hint? Sometimes they have to carry heavy things on their bodies.
On their bodies.
So they're not like carrying it in their hand.
Firefighter?
Oh, that was too easy. Too good of a hint. Man,
Yeah, that was a good hint.
I'm good at hints. All right, 56% of women say they form an opinion on what in just 20 seconds?
Is it as shallow as looks?
Huh? Looks.
Is it as shallow as looks?
Looks of what? Or who?
Looks of other women?
Yes. 56%
Oh, wow.
of women say they can form an opinion on another woman in just 20 seconds based on her appearance.
Wow. We're
Yeah.
judgy people, aren't we?
Yeah. Trashy.
High maintenance.
All right, and just don't say this around your house because he's in love with her. Taylor Swift, Airhead, Drama Queen. All right, this is a brain smasher, Val.
Okay.
All right,
All
if
right,
you get it
I'm ready.
wrong, your brain will actually be smashed. Yes, it's brain smasher. Tom drove all the way from Chihuahua to New York to see Val without realizing his car had a flat tire. But he arrived safely with fully inflated tires. How?
Okay. He drove all the way with a flat tire.
From Chihuahua to New York.
Okay.
All right. Without realizing his car had a flat tire. But he arrived safely with fully inflated tires. How could this be?
Well, he left the car with the flat tire at home and drove something.
No, much simpler than that.
He changed his tire?
No, he didn't change the tire.
Oh, gosh. It's so simple that I'm overlooking it. Is that what you
Yes.
say?
He never realized he had a flat tire.
Oh, well.
Because it was the spare.
Oh, man.
All right. Put your head on the...
All right. Should I take off my skull so you can
Yes.
smash my
No,
brain?
just lay your head on the table. It'll be fine. I have this sledgehammer. No, we'd never do that. It sounds horrible. All right. More fun and games
Remember,
then.
you need me for a kidney.
That's right. I might need a kidney. Take care of my sister. All right. In a survey of therapists, the second most important thing in a marriage is staying connected through fun and new activities. What's the most important thing, if that's the second thing? What's the most important thing therapists say in a marriage?
Having some time apart. Communicating, I would think. Isn't it
Communication. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. All right. Just peeked over at Facebook. Good morning to Ron tuning in again today. He's tuning in every day. There you go. That's a loyal listener. Thank you,
It
Ron.
is a loyal listener. And the rest of you should step up.
You don't know his name. Wow, Val. You don't know his name, but you hear the voice of Jake Wood every day. All right. Let's see. He's in a commercial.
Okay.
The commercial, he's the voice of a creature in the commercial.
Is it the Geico Gecko?
Are you cheating?
No, I'm not. But I'm just thinking of what's, a voice you hear all the time and you wouldn't know who it's coming from.
So, yeah, Jake Wood, British actor Jake Wood, is the voice of the Geico Gecko. Geico Gecko.
Oh, Geico Gecko.
Yeah, say that 5 times real fast. All right, Val, going to make it easy for you. It's just a guessing game. Which came first, the ballpoint pen or the Band-Aid?
Gosh, I'm going to say the Band-Aid.
You're right, 1920s for the Band-Aid, 1938 for the ballpoint pen. How about the Slinky or mobile telephone service?
Ooh, I would think the Slinky came along first.
It did, but only by a year.
Really?
The Slinky, 1945. The first mobile telephone service, 1946.
Wow.
Believe it or not. So, when it started in the 80s, which we thought was the start date, you had those huge brick phones or the bag phones. What was the size of the telephone in 1946, your mobile phone? Was it a whole nother, trailer you pulled behind you?
Exactly, because I think of, the old computer banks. They took up a whole room, and now we've got more computing power on our phones.
Wow. All right, Rubik's Cube or a bread making machine? Which is first?
Gosh. I'm going to go with the bread making machine, but that's a one I'm not sure about.
And you were not sure at all. Rubik's Cube 74, bread making machines 86.
Oh, that was a big gap. Okay.
All right. This one should be a little easier. The floppy disk or hairspray? Which was first?
Hairspray.
1955 for hairspray, a 71 for the floppy disk. I actually found in like a manila folder one of the old, like, not one of the little ones that were the like flat cartridges, kind of like a
big
wafer.
ones.
One of the big ones. It looked like they had like a floppy 45 in the inside.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I remember those. And do you remember how big they were? I mean, how much data they held?
Like, I think 2 megabytes.
That's what I was thinking.
It wasn't much at all. Like
I was
one
thinking
document.
Yeah. I was thinking the smaller ones were only 8 megabytes. At least that's what's sticking in my head, but I really don't know.
Yeah. I think you can buy them with different, but they still weren't very big, with different amounts that they would store. But, yeah, not much in them. And the LP record or sliced bread, which came first?
Sliced bread?
Okay, and if you think sliced bread came first, what would be your guess for a year for sliced bread when we and that would be like being able to get sliced bread at the store, I guess.
At the store? Oh, gosh. I'm going to go early 50s.
1928.
Oh, wow.
For sliced bread, and 1948 for the vinyl record.
Oh,
right.
Wow.
All right.
Okay.
Sliced bread. What'd they do before? Was it just, is that where the break in the bread comes from? We were too lazy to cut it with a knife. No one ever thought of slicing the bread. We just busted off hunks and ate it like animals.
Well, I was sure it's like, having it commercially produced, put into some sort of bag. Maybe, I don't know. Yeah.
All right. Growing up with an outhouse is a humbling experience. It's like bungee jumping. Glad I did it, but I don't want to do it again. Who said that?
We got to use an outhouse frequently when we were younger.
Yes. If we went to the lake, that was all you got was the outhouse. And what a tremendous idea for the state of North Dakota to allow outhouses all the way around the lake.
And you hated to be the one that had to go. You hated it if you had to go right after Dad. Because not only did he have his morning constitution, but he smoked while he did it.
Oh.
So now you had the smell of smoke and poo. And it wasn't pleasant.
Could you leave the door open?
Please.
So the worst thing I ever experienced, and it didn't happen to me, it actually happened to my buddy, Chuck. So if you get out around Banks Lake, where I was camping this spring trying to avoid pine pollen, they've got those cement pit toilets at the I was staying at the free campgrounds because, well, I'm Scott.
And why pay for a campground if you don't have to?
That's right. So I was staying at the free ones, without the, because I was on this. I'm gonna be green, except for driving the RV. But I did use no electricity. I generated everything I need 24/7, even the refrigerator, from the sun. Of course, if you drove by my camp spot, it looked like I moved in. Solar panels laying around it, and buckets and tubs and stuff. But anyways. Yeah, so I just totally lost my train of thought of what I was going to tell with that story. Oh, so the pit toilets, right? They're the cement ones or whatever. They're like pre-made and they just drop them in or whatever. Well, I don't think they planned on the wind around there in central Washington, because right there around Banks Lake, I think average wind speed 35 every day.
Oh, how can you do it? I hate the wind.
And some days it was gusting. It had to be like 70 to 80, because one day it actually picked up the fishing boat on the back of the truck, picked it up in the air while it's attached, and laid it on its side. And then as we were standing arguing about how we're going to pull it back over and whether we should try to uncouple it from the truck or if somebody's going to get hurt or what should we do, and my suggestion was let's tie a rope on it, go on the opposite side, and just give it a quick tug and see if it comes over. And as we're arguing about how we're going to flip the boat back on its feet, the wind changes direction at 70 miles an hour, picks the boat up, and sends it back on both tires. And it was weird. We saw it moving. We took a step back, and it just went back to where it was. I went, Huh, that was easy. Maybe we should.
Oh.
And then he hurried up and took the truck and the boat and put it in line with the wind so it couldn't tip the boat over off the truck again. That's how hard the wind was blowing.
Can you tell me what that has to do with the pit toilet?
Imagine 70-mile-an-hour winds in a vented pit toilet.
Oh, okay.
And all I'm going to tell you is my buddy Chuck said it was coming back at him.
Oh, no, that is disgusting.
Yeah. But that's how hard the wind was blowing.
Oh.
I was so glad I had a composting toilet.
No kidding.
Yeah, I'm going to remember that forever. All right, so the outhouse thing, like bungee jumping, I'm glad I did it, but I don't want to do it again. Who said it? Trevor Noah, Dolly Parton, John Goodman, or Matthew McConaughey?
And we've gone so far off track. What was the saying that I'm supposed to attribute to who?
It's a humbling experience like bungee jumping. I'm glad I did it, but I don't want to do it again.
I'm going to go with Dolly Parton.
Actually, Trevor Noah, who I don't even know who that is.
Trevor Noah is funny. He does the Daily Show. And yeah, he's hilarious. So
right. I thought you said
check
she.
him out.
I thought you said she at first.
No, he.
He.
Yeah.
All right.
He. Yeah, just check out the Daily Show, and there's some really good stuff. Trevor Noah.
All right. Surprise, surprise, Val, you survived trivia.
I did.
Yay! All righty then. We're going to take a break. We're going to come back. We're going to have local birthdays for the past couple days, news stories, and then, the ever-popular odd news of the day. Stick around. It's Northern Lights Public Radio with Scott and Val. Your KCHW Morning Show, made possible by a donation from God-Fearing Brothers Auto Center. God-Fearing Brothers specializes in auto services, including repair, maintenance, and detailing. They also stock tires, provide collision repairs, including glass, and they have an auto sales lot on the corner of Highway 395 and Main Street at the light. For more information, you can visit the Auto Service Center at 806 East Main in Chewelah. Find them online at fearingbrothers.com or by phone at 509-935-6414.
The Public News Service Daily Newscast for January the 25th, 2022. I'm Mike Clifford. The future of tariffs on imported steel, uncertain. Steelworkers in states like Minnesota hope that policies they feel have helped provide economic stability for them are not unraveling.
The Biden administration has been holding talks with foreign leaders on how to proceed with tariffs that were established by the Trump administration in 2018. In northeastern Minnesota, Virginia Mayor Larry Cuffey says local taconite plants are producing at high levels right now, which he calls a major improvement from when foreign competitors were flooding the market with steel.
We went through some really lean times where people were laid off of their jobs and they've lost their homes and they lost their vehicles and their property.
But he credits the Section 232 tariffs for the surrounding communities being in better shape. Skeptics of the higher tariffs worry about the impact on supply chains and say they don't address overproduction in countries like China. I'm Mike Moen.
And keeping track of student arrests and law enforcement referrals considered a key tool for transparency and accountability within schools. A new report shows some Pennsylvania schools have regularly underreported data on student arrests.
Analysis by the ACLU of Pennsylvania has found Allegheny County Public Schools underreported student arrests by 83% in the 2017-2018 school year. That includes Pittsburgh Public Schools, which reported no arrests. At the ACLU, Gata Makushi says this kind of misrepresentation erodes trust in the education system.
But it also impacts all their peers. It impacts the adults, right? It changes the environment, the dynamics that is happening in that school. And then when you take that even further, it impacts the community, right? If that student drops out, if they're no longer engaged, it is a greater city community issue.
Juvenile justice system data show 499 student arrests within Pittsburgh public schools that year. District officials did not immediately respond to a request for comment. The underreporting extends beyond Pennsylvania as well, with discrepancies found in New York and Los Angeles. I'm Emily Scott.
Minor offenses and drug charges accounted for nearly half of all public school arrests in Allegheny County. And from CNN, an Atlanta area district attorney investigating former President Donald Trump's efforts to overturn the 2020 election result in Georgia will be allowed to see the special grand jury this spring. The Fulton County DA, Fannie Willis, requested last week to seat the special grand jury starting May 2nd, and Fulton County Superior Court judges approved the request on Monday. CNN adds that Willis has said she expects to decide on whether to bring charges against Trump in the first half of 2022. This is PNS. Today is National Poll Workers.
Good morning. We're back, 828 KCHW Chihuahua. You got Scott's here in Chihuahua, and my sister Val live from New York from the looks of the big city behind her.
That is the big city behind me.
All right, how about a
Bathed
weather?
in sunshine.
What's the weather forecast? It looks nice.
It's lovely, but we're supposed to be getting a pretty big snowstorm later in the day, and so I'm just enjoying the sun while I can.
Okay. Strings and mirrors, ladies and gentlemen. Strings and mirrors. That's all I'm saying. All right. One thing I noticed we were talking about during the break that, just as I feared, a new Omicron offshoot, it says. So I don't know. So this would be a new coronavirus variant. Dubbed BA.2, but they have a picture of it. The other one looks all spiky and red.
Right.
Okay. This one looks like green and blue, like green and it's the picture of the cell is green and I'd say teal. It looks much more friendly.
Well, that's all about the looks.
It's right. They made it look so vicious in the pictures. All right, let's do some birthdays. There are none for Tuesday, but we missed a whole bunch yesterday, and that includes Sarah Walters, Talela George, Michaela Dollar, and Dennis Poor. All right, and then there was one more. It says continued at the top, but I don't see it. All righty then.
All righty.
I only have one eye, though. How about some celebrity birthdays with my sister Val?
Well, I was going to give you, just before we go too far with the celebrity birthdays, is the BA2, because you were saying it was used a different term for it. They call it a descendant of the Omicron variant, not a mutation, a descendant.
A descendant. Oh,
yeah.
It's having babies.
Yeah. But it does say the descendant lineage differs slightly from BA.1, which we didn't know we had, in some of the mutations, including in the spike protein.
Okay.
So that's what we know so far. Not a whole lot. It's just another.
Doesn't say they don't know if it's better or worse yet.
No, it doesn't look like it. But I was just doing a cursory skim just to bring our listeners more information.
Okay. If you really want to know, look it up. But you probably don't.
All right. I will go back then a little bit for birthdays.
Okay.
So adventurer Kay Cody is 68. She was the first woman to perform a solo, nonstop, and unassisted circumnavigation of the world. She did it in 1988 in her 37-foot yacht, Blackmore's First Lady, taking 189 days.
Huh. How many days did it take Jules Verne?
80?
80, yeah. Oh, she's kind of slow.
She's kind of slow. Jennifer Lewis from Blackish and the voice of Flo in Pixar's Cars is 65 today. Anna Ortiz from Devious Minds and Ugly Betty is 51. Christine Lakin from Family Guy and Step by Step is 43. Alicia Keys is 41. Michael Trevino from The Vampire Diaries is 37. And Ariana DeBose from Hamilton, Golden Globe for West Side Story is 31.
All right. It happened today. I like to call it history, and we're going to start off in 1924 with the first Winter Olympics. It opened in the French Alps, inaugurating the Winter Olympic Games, 1924.
Wow.
All right, 1984, Apple's Macintosh computer went on sale for $2,495. That was a lot of money in 1984.
It was.
Today, it's worth $2,495,000.
I can remember my first computer. I want to say it was a Canon. And for the printer, the computer monitor was like $2,500.
Wow. I think my first one was an HP, baby. 1995, in its opening statement in the O.J. Simpson murder trial in Los Angeles, the defense said Simpson was a victim of a rush to judgment by authorities who had mishandled evidence and ignored witnesses. Sure it was.
Sure.
All right, 1999, a man in Louisville, Kentucky received the first hand transplant in the U.S.
Nice.
You know what the first thing he did was?
What?
Hi! Excuse me. Hi. It was just a floppy hand.
Just a floppy hand.
That's
so
what, you don't get to see those hand effects if you're not watching online.
And since you are being, kind of politically incorrect, I'll take it a step further and tell you a joke.
Okay.
Why did the one-hand man go to across the street?
Oh, is this a trick question?
Why did the one-handed man cross the street?
I don't know.
He was going to the second-hand store.
Oh, that's where this guy went. On to 2011, where we'll probably come up with some more bad jokes. A former Miss Canada finalist became the first person in the world to graduate with a master's degree in the Beatles. Didn't know that was even possible.
Yeah, what job do you get after that?
Yeah. Canadian singer Mary Lou Zehelan Kennedy was one of the first students to sign up for the course on the Fab Four when it launched in Liverpool. Hope University is where it happened in March of 2009.
So this will probably earn me a lot of hate, but I am not a Beatles fan.
Say it isn't so.
It's true.
No
it's
strawberry
true.
fields forever for you.
I know. I'm just not. I know some people are like huge. Think they're the greatest band of all times. I'm just not a fan.
But think about it. If the only rock and roll music you had ever heard before that was really like, Chuck Berry or Elvis Presley, okay? Imagine what it would be like hearing that sound from England and that rock and roll and the upbeat music. I bet you at the time it would have had a way bigger influence on you because you would have never heard any, especially if you liked it. You would have never heard anything like that before, so it probably would have really stand out.
It was revolutionary.
Yeah. So, for those people in hindsight, it's probably where their love for it came from. But since I'm kind of the same way. I can take a few other songs I like, but I can take it or leave it. And I think it's just because you weren't shocked by it. Like fans of Jimi Hendrix, they're hardcore Jimi Hendrix fans.
Mm-hmm.
To me, it sounds noisy. But at the time, there was nothing like it when it came out. It was phenomenal. All right. And I think kind of movies hit us that way, like the first Matrix movies.
Mm-hmm.
There was that movie Equilibrium, which was the guy that played Batman that nobody likes. What's his name? Doesn't talk so well. Christian Bale? Is it Christian Bale?
Yeah, I think you're right. Yep.
Okay, so it's like his movie Equilibrium. You had never seen that kind of fighting style in a film ever before.
I honestly don't know if I've seen that.
You need to watch it. I've never seen another movie like it.
Okay.
I mean, at its time now, probably there's been ones that have copied it because it was kind of a cult classic. But the special effects in that and the fight moves were something that had never been done in a movie before. So I don't know.
All right, I'm writing it down so I remember.
Equilibrium. I think it's even on like Prime or Netflix right now. So
okay.
All right, I've seen it the other day. All right, special events from Val.
All right. Today is 11 months until Christmas.
Oh, wow. Wow, you're so lucky you're not a baby seal.
It is Irish Coffee Day.
Okay.
And so you may think this is coffee in my cup.
It's Irish, you know, you can have like Irish coffee creamer. You don't have to actually use the liqueur valve.
What?
Nothing.
What?
Nothing, forget it.
It is a plan for a vacation day.
Yeah.
And I think we need to do that today because that would be good. We are probably going to take a trip to Sedona sometime this spring.
All right.
And we've been putting it off for over a year, partly because of COVID and partly because other things keep coming up. But yeah, so we need to plan that today so we don't put it off again.
All right, so if you just don't want to go because of the coronavirus, I have a piece of red rock from Sedona you can hold.
Oh, you know what? You're the best brother ever.
Thank you.
I'm going to give you a kidney now, whether you need it or not.
Oh, look what my sister gave me for Christmas. Your spare kidney. What if you need this, Val?
You can give it back.
Okay.
I'll
just put it in the freezer then.
You know, and I will say that you are particularly funny today, Scott.
What's that?
And it's opposite day.
Oh, that means I haven't made you laugh at all.
You have. I just had to, do something.
You know, I need to go specifically get some clips from SpongeBob because they have an old. Oh, I see a cat head in the camera.
She's chasing the cursor around the screen.
I just saw the head for a second and a couple ears.
You can probably still see a little bit of an ear here.
Can I make her get
Come
me
here,
a
kid. Come on.
Oh, it's fun with cats right here online.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not watching on YouTube or Facebook, you should be.
But there is a whole episode of SpongeBob dedicated to Opposite Day, which is pretty awesome. Your last one?
Speak up and succeed today.
That's right. Get in your boss's face.
Yeah, ask for a raise, I guess.
Yeah. Good luck. Chances are, though, you're going to have to get it because they're so short on employees. This would be the perfect time to ask for a raise.
Exactly.
Because what are they going to do?
Exactly.
They don't want you to leave. You are hard to replace right now, even if you suck at your job.
And it never used to be that way.
Yeah. All right. Number for the day is 2,000. It's the number of newspapers that have closed over the last 15 years as of 2021.
Wow.
That online stuff's messing up everything.
It's saving the planet, though. Less paper products, maybe?
You think? A little bit?
I don't know. I'm going to make it sound good.
Okay. News and nuggets. All right. Man found carrying his own severed arm after a workplace accident.
You don't need to say anything but the title of that
just
one.
the headline. No, the sick part of me wants to know more.
Okay, you go ahead then.
Well, it's just like that friend of the family that got his hand cut in his arm caught in the sausage maker. That's disgusting.
That is disgusting.
But actually had to take his own arm off to get free from it. Yeah. That's a manly man, though. Thousands of workplace accidents like this dude and injuries, some fatal, happen each year. Some work-related accidents are so tragic and unusual that they break through the day-to-day news. One such accident recently took place in Maine in a town called Lewiston. Nowhere near where I'm moving. Actually, it's kind of close. On Friday, a young man lost his arm in an apparent workplace accident. As reported by the Lewiston Sun-Journal, witnesses saw the young man stumbling along Maple Street around 9 a.m. Fortunately for the man, public work crews happened to be in the area and stopped to help him, and then called rescue crews and police. Public crews workers applied a tourniquet while waiting for medics. Several people reported the man had lost his arm in an accident with a bandsaw, and police were able to follow the blood trail back to the business after the victim was found. No word if the arm was reattached.
Wow.
Wow, that's crazy. So he cut it off, went and just probably got delirious and went looking for help, huh?
I was going to say, yeah, at that point you are in shock, I'm sure, and your body's just moving without any thought to it, I suppose. That's crazy.
Yeah, creepy kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Let's see. Val, you got one that spots your eye there?
Let's see. Twitter suspends Wordle running bot.
Okay, I want to know what that is.
And you've heard about Wordle. I mean, I guess it's just the hugest thing ever now. It's you get online and it's just one puzzle a day and you only have so long to solve it. I guess it's a thing. I don't know.
Okay.
But Twitter has banned at Wordlinator, a bot that replied to people's Wordle posts with rude messages that include spoilers for the next day's game. The account's spoilers appeared to be accurate. The key is easily accessible in the game's code, so it's not necessarily a surprise, which would end up ruining the game for anyone who sees them. For anyone who's managed to avoid it, Wordle is a game where you get 6 chances to guess a 5-letter word. The answer is the same for everyone playing, and it only changes once a day.
So it's like that game show.
Kind of, yeah. I just haven't even checked it out or jumped on the bandwagon, but I guess it's a thing.
Okay. I don't like the name. It's kind of creepy. It's too close to waddle.
Are you one of those people that hates the word moist too?
No, that dollop is the one that makes me angry.
Dollop?
Dollop.
Do a dollop a daisy? No, you don't like that?
Yeah, that makes me want to hit you.
Okay.
So,
doop,
yeah.
doop, 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 a dollop a daisy. Now that I know it's a button, I'm going to keep pushing
I could just turn off your microphone.
That's true.
All right. What's the worst sound in the world?
Well, I know what would be for me.
What is it?
Would be a crying baby.
Oh, that's on the list. Worst sound in the world. An awful, horrible sound. You can post this on Facebook. We'll check back maybe before the end of the show, which is only about 15 minutes away, what you might think the worst sound in the world is. So, in a survey, microphone feedback was second. Crying babies and scrapes and squeaks of train wheels tied for third. All right. And the sound of what was number 1? Or did you already read it?
I already read it, but I can see that. I can see that's a pretty horrible sound.
I don't know. I think of the baby and the screeching train brakes and the microphone feedback, because that actually hurts your ears.
Yes. Yeah.
I could see those all at worst, because really I don't think the sound of puking is all that bad. What do you think?
You know, it's the worst sound in the world at 3 o'clock in the morning when you know your child is puking and hasn't made it to the bathroom.
Oh. Sounds like that guy made it to the bathroom.
Exactly.
Just the ambience of it. It sounds like bathroom, ambiance.
That echo.
Yeah.
Oh.
All
yeah,
right.
but that's if you're a mom that knows that now you have to clean a carpet at 3 o'clock in the morning, not only you just get your kid a bucket and back to bed. Yeah, that's a horrible sound.
All right, and your last one, Val, startling revelation from Italian researchers. What is it?
I'm going to scroll down until I find that.
It was right after the worst sound in the world.
Oh, okay.
That was a great lead into you. Just totally
Oh,
blew
it was, and I missed it.
Man.
Italian researchers say that contagious yawning occurs at a faster rate among friends and family than strangers.
Huh.
And I'd heard that before, is that if you yawn after somebody else yawns, it means that you have some sort of close relationship.
So I was at the grocery store last night, and the checker and the beggar. So the checker, it was like right at the end of the night. The checker let out a big yawn, and then the beggar let out a big yawn, and I just wanted to fake a yawn to fit in.
See, we're connected. Do you want to go on a date?
Yes. And something for you today, when you find your cat looking at you, fake a yawn, right?
And you've said that before, and
Try
I
it a
don't know
few
that
times.
It's worked for me. Okay.
Okay. Keep trying it. Don't give up, because sooner or later it will work. You will make your animal, your dog or your cat yawn. It works. Trust me. I've spent hours during COVID trying to do this.
You have it perfected?
Hours, I'm telling you. All right.
Have you tried the slow wink to see if they wink back at you, or the slow?
The slow blink. Yeah. They kind of do that back at you. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's supposed to be, according to somebody's research, that's supposed to be the cat version of "I love you."
Oh, wow!
Mm-hmm.
I just know when you get the cat to yawn.
Spartans, prepare for glory.
Exactly. That's how you
I'll
feel.
have the sound effect ready.
I made the cat yawn. Oh, all right. That's weird enough. Let's do that thing we do at the end of the show where we dig out the biscuits and the bacon.
Slap some bacon on a biscuit and let's go. We're burning daylight.
It's the world of strange. A world gone wacky.
Out here, due process is a bullet.
And some of the scariest people on the planet.
I think you're bluffing. Be afraid. You know, you look mighty pretty when you get mad.
It's your odd news on KCHW.
Just sit back and enjoy the show.
Oh, here we go. 8:46 news time. Always start off odd news with the news attack, where the first statement is true and the second one's a big fat lie. And here comes my sister Val with a lie.
Okay. A guy flying from Ireland for a job in the U.S. became belligerent on his flight, complained about the food, and then mooned other passengers.
Woo.
Ooh, sounds like he'll fit right in our country.
Actually, from my view, I thought it was Trump. Well, just from my view. All right, Joe Biden was caught on a live mic calling a Fox News White House correspondent a stupid something else. If you need help figuring out what the abbreviation you should put there, you need to spend more time on Wordle.
Back to Wordle.
Back to Wordle.
Wordle. The James Webb Space Telescope arrived Monday at its final destination, where it will orbit the sun over 1 million miles from Earth. The mission cost $10 billion. Fortunately, the telescope found free parking there.
Oh, free parking by the sun. Huh.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be cool. I wonder if, and there's some on YouTube, you can check it out. I wonder if they'll find some spaceships flying into the sun, as many people claim they do.
Every sci-fi space adventure.
Enlightening is what I call it. All right, new study shows men with wider faces are not trustworthy. I've seen that one before, too. No wonder I don't trust health claims made by the Pringles mascot. That's not even funny, is it?
No, it's not even funny. I can't even picture the Pringles mascot.
I didn't know they had one.
I didn't know they had one either.
They must have a wide face, though, huh?
Must. All right. Researchers report that if you drink a few cups of coffee a day, you'll enjoy better health. Cheers!
Yeah, once you come out of the bathroom, Val.
Yeah, once you finally come out of the bathroom.
All right. Money website Wallet Hub says the best state for retirees is Florida, and the worst is New Jersey. That's kind of depressing. Oh, you're retiring. Where are you going? New Jersey, where it's really dirty. Which means if you plan to spend your retirement at a buffet restaurant, New Jersey is number one.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Lots of buffets.
All right. Something I didn't know about New Jersey. Now I'm going to consider that.
Where'd you move here? Well, they got lots of buffets.
Close to 2/3 of Americans who have not yet retired say that when the time comes, they will work for pay after retiring. The reason given most often has nothing to do with money. They simply want to stay busy. Why do you think there are so many senior citizens working as crossing guards then? It ain't the pay. So if they just keep busy slowing up traffic, even though they're not in the car.
I always thought it was because senior citizens were slow and they knew the kids would get off the street first.
Run for your lives.
Survey found half of Americans don't like their food to touch each other on the plate. Small percentage.
Half?
Yeah, half. Small percentage of weirdos doesn't like their food to touch in their stomach. Small.
Small number.
All right, wacky but true. We don't add anything to these stories, but sound effects. That's right. It's all true.
And it's all wacky.
Yes.
All right. They say go big or go home. A bank robber in China apparently had this in his head when he did just that. He tried to break into a bank using a backhoe. He used a heavy machinery to plow through the doors of a bank at 1 a.m., setting off the alarm. Officers arrived to a gaping hole in the bank where street-facing glass wall used to be. They found the bank robber, you guessed it, still inside.
Wow.
But this whole place sucks. That's right, it sucks.
Especially when there's cops there. All right. Man in Baghdad, Iraq, reportedly dumped his wife on their wedding day because she danced to a provocative song at the reception. Really? They're so weird over there. I call that bonus.
Yeah.
Song lyrics included, I'm a dominant. You will be ruled under my strict instructions. I'll drive you crazy if you look at other girls on the street. Let's see. As long as you're with me, you walk under my command. I'm arrogant. I'm arrogant. This is the song. I've never heard it before.
I've never heard that either.
Could you do some cats and boots while I do it? Okay.
Cats and boots and cats and boots.
I'm a dominant. You're not good at that. Okay.
No.
The lyrics weren't the only part of the song that bothered the groom. The groom and his family also took issue with the song's rhythm. So when they saw the bride dancing to a song, they approached her and the argument ensued, which ultimately ended in the dissolution of the newlyweds' marriage. Oh,
wow.
You know, that's one thing I've always wondered in case there's a melee at my wedding.
Quickly, everybody, into the disco room.
That's right. We're all going in the disco room. Hurry!
Through here. Keep moving. Focus, people, focus. Let's go.
Focus. All right, that's what happens in my disco room.
I have a family-in-law member that got in a fight with her husband on their wedding day on the street corner, and he ended up tearing her wedding dress.
Like, off?
Yeah, pretty much. So that wedding or that marriage did last for a full year after that.
Wow.
But you could kind of see the writing on the wall at that point, right?
Wow. It's kind of like this.
Get away from me, you dirty fembot!
Let's go to Brazil.
Okay.
A man in Brazil locked his parents up in their bedroom so that he and his girlfriends could be alone, or his girlfriend. The parents called the fire department, who broke out a window to get to them.
Can you do it again with the plural?
With the plural?
Yeah.
A man in Brazil locked his parents up in their bedroom so that he and his he and his girlfriends could be alone.
Spartans! Prepare for glory!
Sorry, I just had to.
Oh.
Irish man on his way to a new job in the U.S. was arrested after causing such a ruckus on the international flight that he might spend the next 20 years in federal prison. It's not good to act up on a plane.
Yeah, and this is another Irish person, right?
Yeah.
Or is it? Oh.
Yeah, Irish man. So, and just on a side story, like the lady that was on the news last night that is now in trouble and possibly facing prison time for saying that if her kids would be showing up to school yesterday and they would not be wearing masks, and if that was a problem, she was showing up with all of her guns.
Oh.
And then afterwards, I meant with all the stuff I need to fight you.
You can't backpedal your way out of that one.
It was just a metaphor for all the stuff I need, like social media and things. And they're like, well, yeah, you still shouldn't set it at the school meeting.
Probably shouldn't have.
No, she's in a lot of trouble. So Shane McIerney. He was on his way to Dayton, Florida on the 7th of January to take a job coaching soccer at a sports academy. Problems with McIerney started right away when he refused to wear a mask. Then his selfish behavior devolved from there.
I like that you added selfish.
Beside the mask issue, the private soccer coach also caused problems for other people on board, kicking the seat in front of him, throwing an empty can at someone's head. This guy's fun. I want him on my flight. He also reportedly walked over his economy seat to the first class section and complained about the food and service. Kearney's behavior became so boisterous that after about 2 hours into the flight, the captain went to go speak with him. That's when the defendant took off the pilot's cap.
Oh, my goodness.
And then he put his fist in his face. That's probably a little too far, and said, "Don't touch me." In the process of being escorted back to his seat, the passenger then pulled down his pants and mooned all the people around him.
Sounds like you spent a little time in the Irish pub before you got on that plane.
Yes.
We have pictures of you so-called mooners.
Yeah. All right. Val.
All right. A 31-year-old called Nashville police to report he had been in a crash roughly 90 minutes earlier.
Ooh.
Police met him just down the street where they discovered a puddle and trail of fresh alcohol, which he had poured out the window of his vehicle. Inside the car, police found six empty Captain Morgan bottles and a glass with ice and liquor inside, along with other random alcohol cans. Before failing his sobriety test, can you believe he failed it? He told police he's a lightweight when it comes to drinking.
Just 6/5. It's no big deal.
I think he sounds like a professional.
Yeah. Oh, my sound effect didn't play. I hate that. One more time. He sounds like a what?
Professional.
You drunk?
No. But this ought to do it.
You know, but it is COVID, and this one kind of works too.
Drink up. The world's about to end.
That's right.
6 empty Captain Morgan bottles. I mean, I guess that doesn't mean that he drank them
them
all right before, but yeah, he's a professional drinker.
It could have been what created the river of alcohol.
Could be.
Yeah. All right, Nashville police found 24-year-old Benjamin Wilkinson standing on a front porch of his home over the weekend. Oh, of a random home over the weekend. He was banging on the front door and asking to come inside because he believed he was at the correct house, but he wasn't. Police determined he was heavily intoxicated and beating on the wrong house. There's some strange man that wants to come in.
Damn, your drunk tests are hard.
So I just had the kitten come and drop something wet in my lap. Evidently, she dropped it in the water bowl and then got it back out to share it with me.
And what is it?
Only a piece of styrofoam, I guess.
Oh, are you sure?
I'm hoping.
At least she brought her kill to you.
Yeah, same as last night in the middle of the night. She came and dropped one of her toys on me, wanting to play.
That's the first time we've actually had a cat's butt on the podcast. Thank you, Val.
Thank you, Lily.
Wow. We're going to lose our PG rating.
Oh, goodness.
The last story is heartwarming, and it's all yours.
All right, thank you. A woman in China had her bag containing her phone, credit cards, and $630 snatched by a man riding a motorcycle as she cycled home. She first thought of calling the police, but she decided to try to persuade the young man to return her bag. She called her lost phone with her colleague's phone, but was disconnected. Then she began sending text messages. In one message, she wrote, "You must be going through a difficult time. If so, I will not blame you." In another message, she told the thief, "Keep the money if you really need it, but please return the other things to me. You are still young. To err is human. Correcting your mistakes is more important than anything." She gave up hope of seeing her possessions after sending 21 text messages without a reply. But guess what? Days later, she went out her front door. She discovered her stolen bag. Nothing had been taken. A letter inside asked for forgiveness. Wow.
Aww.
Wow.
What a great story, Val. Huh.
Heartwarming.
Yeah.
Welcome to Fantasy Island.
Best sound effect ever.
Yeah, it's just too good to be true, so I'm just going to guess it's not.
Oh.
All right. I am Mr. Scott Allen.
And I am Miss Valerie Jane.
Hunter. Okay.
Well, you didn't say Scott Allen Schloffman,
okay,
so I thought I was just middle and first and middle.
You're mimicking me. Please stop.
All right. Well, at least I'm not mocking you.
Same thing. Mimicking, mocking, both begin with M's. It's all included. All right, it's Tuesday. That means Dr. Jazz in at 6 o'clock tonight with 3 full hours of jazz music right here on Northern Lights Public Radio. Want you to have a great day and keep on listening to KCHW 102.7. And that's your odd news for
Tuesday.
See that the humans remain entertained until the end.
Mom! We're on high alert here! I almost killed you right then! You do not even realize!
Never mind.
I am so done playing games with this boy.
Drink up, the world's about to end.
Get away from me, you dirty fembot!
The time has come for someone to put his foot down. And that foot is me.
Stop it! The both of you, you're so full of it!
Not so fast! Public news team taking a break from its pledge drive. No commercials! No mercy! No!